What does it look like when a small cap energy company tries to turn steady cash flow into a much larger production story? Today, we're taking a closer look at a company focused on building production and cash flow from its oil and gas assets while targeting a clear growth path over the next several years. With cash flow momentum building and the company pointing to a significant gap between market valuation and project value, Buccaneer Energy is positioning itself as a growth and re rating story in the energy market. Hello, I'm Ricki Lee, and joining me on this episode of the Capital Compass to walk us through the strategy, operations, and what investors should be watching is Paul Welch, CEO of Buccaneer Energy. Paul, welcome to the Capital Compass.
Yeah, right. Thanks, Ricky. Thanks for having me. Pleasure to be here.
It's a pleasure to have you. So, Paul, let's start with the bigger picture. Buccaneer has outlined a clear path toward reaching roughly 5,000 barrels of oil per day over the coming years. What are the key operational milestones investors should be watching out for over the next 12 to 18 months that demonstrate Buccaneer is on the right path?
Right. So that's a great question. So the key for us here is to do it incrementally and to do it in ways that make sense to both us and to the market. So from us, it's establishing a very, very strong base of cash flow. Right. So at the moment, we're making just over 150 barrels a day. I think the next milestone for people to look at is for us to hit 250 barrels a day. And then we have from that just consistent cash flow. We're one of the few micro cap, AIM E&Ps that is profitable at this level. When we got involved, which is almost 2 years ago, the company was in kind of a pretty desperate shape, but now we're in relatively good shape. And so for us, it's just this consistency, this trustworthiness that we need to generate. And we think we can do that through, getting up to 250 barrels a day first and then scaling from there. You know, first we get to 250 and then we scale. That's really the key for us, I think.
And the company has also highlighted a meaningful gap between its market valuation and project NPV. What do you see as the most important catalyst that could help close that valuation gap in the near term?
Like I said in my first response there, it's really consistency. So, at the present time, we weren't anticipating this run up in oil prices. I don't think many people were, but because it's happened, we have a market cap of sub 2 million pounds, and we're generating, like last month, we generated in excess of $250,000 in cash, free cash, over and above our expenses. So, it's a really strong cash flow story. And for us, we need this consistency. So, with that cash, we're going to start putting it into our organic growth opportunities, which is, expansion of the OOR, implementation of a water flood, these really highly valuable barrels that we produce because we're onshore Texas. Our operating costs are incredibly low. So at $90 a barrel, in one part of our field where our operating costs are less than $5, we're making, $85 per barrel in free cash. So it's a great place to invest. And again, whether the oil price is 90 or 100 or 75, you still have a very, very healthy margin. And so for us, it's that consistency in cash flow, because people will eventually have to respect that cash flow, and we think that gap will shrink. So that's our objective.
And speaking of those operational stories, one of the stories that investors are keeping an eye on right now is the organic oil recovery pilot at Pine Mills. The early results have been quite encouraging. So, what gives you confidence that this can be scaled successfully across the wider field?
Well, I think it's that initial response, and now we've been operating it for a couple months. So we've seen how it initially came in. We doubled production. We've seen it tail off a little bit now, but I think most importantly for people that are watching this is that we are seeing a relatively flat production here, but we're producing about 1,200 barrels a day less of fluid. So when we look at our operating costs, they're people first and then power second. And because we're not moving that much fluid, our operating costs are dropping. So that, that margin that I talked about being, so big before is getting bigger because the implementation of OOR has allowed us to decrease our water cut essentially in the pilot area, and it will be across the field. The other thing too is this OOR is kind of a way to improve the efficiency of the water flood that we have in place. But for us to really move the needle, it's the implementation of this next water flood in the Falk area that will, I think, really drive the next step and drive the growth in the business. So the OR helps efficiency, but the water flood will be the thing that will really move the needle for us.
And you've also pointed to the Carlisle One acquisition as a highly accretive deal with strong IRR improvements. How are you thinking about prioritizing similar acquisition or development opportunities going forward?
Well, I think what we'd like to do in the same way. So with the Carlisle one, it was in an area of the field called the Falk area where we're going to implement this water flood. So we paid $425,000 for it. We bought it, prior to the price run up. That asset last month threw off cash, free cash of about $70,000. So this thing is going to pay out in less than 6 months. But it was a strategic move for us too because it's in the area where the Falk water flood was. The Falcon area, we have a third at the moment. We have 32.5% of the barrels there. And these are the most profitable barrels in the field. By buying the Carlisle 100% equity interest, when we implement the water flood, that will now give us more than 50% and control of the area, which was important. So it was a very strategic investment for us. It was also quite profitable. So at current prices, the IRR on that investment was in excess of 80%. So it's the kind of thing we're looking for. It's a strategic bolt-on acquisition that has very high return, and those are the things we're focused on. So there's many other things out there like that, but those are the kind of things that we're really focused on because they make a big difference. And here it's very strategic for us to do that.
And just lastly, Paul, with cash flow increasing sharply and expected to exceed $200,000 per month, how do you balance reinvesting in growth with strengthening the balance sheet?
Well, I think for us, we're protecting the base. We want to make sure we have that profitable base. From that, we intend to grow. So, Steve Staley, who's our chairman, and I have been in a position where we've taken small companies and we've grown them, from micro caps into much bigger companies. And so, when you have a consistent generation of cash, you have a strong base. It allows us to strengthen the balance sheet. You have a very supportive bank who wants us to grow as well. So that combination of consistent cash flow, a very supportive partner, and opportunities, because you're generating cash is, we think, an important, combination of things that allow us to grow this business, very profitably in the future. The cash gives us choices, and with those choices, we can create value. And that's kind of the way we're looking at it. So it's that consistent cash flow that's the key for us.
Well, thank you so much for walking us through all of that and explaining the Buccaneer Energy story. Paul, thank you for your time.
Thank you very much for having me. I really enjoyed it. Appreciate the opportunity to tell the story. We think it's a great story, and we look forward to everyone else hearing it as well.
Well, we hope to hear more from you in the future as well. Once again, that is Paul Welch, CEO of Buccaneer Energy. For more information, visit buccaneerenergy.co.uk. I'm Ricki Lee, and this has been The Capital Compass. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you next time.